Hi, I'm Ellie from crystallinks.com. Today is Monday, July 10th, 2017, and I just want to talk about healing, I wore green, health, and the healthcare bills. I've been around the block a long time. I'm 74, and I have seen many a politician try to get some proper health care for the United States, and nothing works. Nothing has ever worked, okay? Obamacare, we know, is not a good plan. The new Trump pick, I think it's called the Affordable Care Act, that's not going to work. That's even worse than Obamacare. And so we stop and we think, what can we do different? For one thing, with the Trump package, Republicans went behind closed doors, seriously, and they came up with something that really is not in the best interest of the many thousands, maybe millions of wounded souls who are out there and can't afford medical coverage. It's your Medicaid, it's your low-income families. I mean, these are the souls that really need the healing. They need the protection from everything that's wrong, their emotional problems that lead to their physical problems, that lead to addictions, that these are the people who need it. You don't take it away from them. But going behind closed doors and coming up with a plan, to me, is as ridiculous as anything I've ever heard. Any plan that maybe might satisfy some of the people, some of the time, would have to be bipartisan, which most people recognize. You can't have the Republicans saying do it this way or the Democrats saying do it that way. Obviously, you need some sort of group who can come together, but the bottom line is, will they ever really say, okay, we found the solution to healthcare? No. What we need in the United States is universal health care. It works in other countries. It could work here. It would allow everybody to be covered, everybody who's ill to have the opportunity to get good medical care. I mean, what's going on now, even people I know who make large salaries are unable to afford some of the medications that they need. It's a very difficult time, and I'm just grateful that at my age I have Medicare, plus I use an ARP supplement if anybody is really wanting to know. You need this. You really need this in today's world. When it comes to healing, okay, wounded souls healing, the fact that everything is breaking down emotionally and physically in people's bodies, in the world, this is what's going on right now. You know, the object of the healers is heal yourself by healing others, which I think is a very good way to go. No matter how you do it, there are so many healing modalities. Pick one. I mean, they're there, and then there's a new one. Invent it or invent your own way of doing it, whatever works for you. You could address the person's emotions, their physical body, anything that you want that will help them heal. But here's my take on all of this, okay? We live in a holographic illusion. This is a simulation. It's not real. And everything that happens to us is programmed. So if someone is programmed to let go of an illness or an addiction or anything else that's wrong with them, it will happen. Whether a healer comes in or doesn't come in, whether it's Western medicine, Eastern medicine, eating differently, yoga, whatever practices they partake in, if it's your time to heal and that part of your programming is over, you're going to heal. That's it. Let's say you'll tell me, well, I smoked my whole life, but just recently I found a hypnotherapist. He or she hypnotized me and I stopped smoking. That's because you were supposed to stop smoking. And when you're ready to make that change, whoever you find, whichever hypnotherapist you find, whoever happens to come along through the internet or through recommendation, that's the person who will work with you. That's the person who will help you heal. It's unfortunate that we live in a bipolar duality of a reality. That means there will always be drama. There will always be all kinds of things going on in this world that are going to involve healing and looking at your life. And God, I don't know how many healers have told me, I work with people and they need to go back to their childhood. The question is, how many times do you need to go back and rehash your childhood? How many times do you need to rehash your issues? And then they tell you, well, that's because they're sitting inside of you. And once you get them out and cry them out and do this and this and this, they'll be done. You can go forward with your life, which may be true, but still in all, in a holographic universe, in the simulation, you will be changed, if ever, healed, if ever, when your programming deems it so. And I know there are a lot of healers who disagree, and they'll tell me, they do this and that. Now, healers themselves are burning out now. They're putting a lot into what they do with their healing modality. Some say, more recently, they tell me, we like to watch the flow of energies. We don't touch anybody. We just work on their emotions, and we like to watch the energy flow, or the chi, or whatever you want to call it. It's whatever makes you happy. I have never been into the healings. I've studied them all. I've got all kinds of certificates and all kinds of things, from the obvious Reiki to hypnotherapy, which we all went through all of that, to, whatever. When a person like you is ready to let go of whatever shtick we say, okay, is holding you back, you will, and you'll move forward, and it'll be easy and smooth. And that'll be that. If you're in a bad relationship and you think, well, I can heal the person, can't heal anybody. Yeah, probably you can't even heal yourself. You just have to let time just proceed on. We live in very crazy times, and healing and dysfunctionality rule. It rules in politics, it rules in climate, it rules in earth changes, it rules in everything. But think about it this way too. Everything that we say is wrong now. Hasn't it always been wrong? Haven't there always been conspiracies and secrets and lies that cause the dramas? And it's always been out there. Now it's kind of like, more upfront. It's like we have Donald Trump as our president. So, having him as a president, you say, well, he has a few emotional problems and he is causing drama and all of that. It's just the way things are programmed. All you can do is the best you can do for yourself, okay? If you want to sit there now and make a list of the things that don't work for you, if you want to look at your physical and emotional package, do it. The problems lately seem to be with people, all these little hidden illnesses, like they'll go to doctors because something's wrong. My stomach, say, okay, my stomach, there's something wrong, or my intestine, there's something wrong. And I've been to all these doctors, and they don't know what's wrong. And they're trying and they're testing. And I hear this with clients all the time, or children of clients, because young people are as affected as the ones who have suffered with all kinds of things through the years. But it's like my daughter, I had one lady the other day, her daughter has been in and out of the hospital. They don't know what's wrong. She's had every test in the book. Her daughter is 22. They can't find out what's wrong. It's the I can't find out what's wrong thing that automatically takes you to, it starts with the emotions. It starts with the programming, and then to the emotions, and then to the physical body. So there's a lot of different levels of healing. There's a lot of different ways of looking at what's wrong with you, what's wrong with the people around you. Social healing. Good. Damn, we really, really are not in a good social space. Friendships, relationships, marriage. If you're among the lucky, and I know so many people who are, you're getting along with those around you, from your neighbors to your relatives to your friends to the business associates. You're a lucky person, and I guess I fall into that category, because I don't tend to feud with anyone. When somebody is a little bit not quite balanced, I just move on. That's it. You have to do that. But it is what it is. But you have to put things into their perspective for yourself and for those you are close to. Now, we do, as a society, as a global society, we do need medical coverage, no matter how you do it, whether you're going to doctors, whatever you're dealing with, whether you're going holistic, whether you're mixing both, whether you find that, oh, things are allergies, or in this season now, in July, I wrote lots of blogs recently about bug bites, mosquitoes, ticks, Lyme disease, all kinds of things like that. So you have to sit, you have to analyze, you have to get some answers, but you yourself, when you're quietly by yourself, falling asleep, getting up, or just sitting there listening to this, think about what's really causing whatever bothers you. If you're lucky, I guess I fall into that category, nothing is bothering you, so you can get through day to day, avoiding the dramas of life, hoping for the best, waiting for whatever is going to happen. Some people are always waiting for the next shoe to drop, and just saying, I'm a lucky person because this is my programming. I'm aware of what's going on in the bigger picture. I'm aware of what's going on with everything that underlines what's the real truth. And I can just go out and I can just live my life and make peace with things, and then you're fine with it. The ultimate healing for my clients, I just want to close for this, is this vision that some people find and others don't. It's kind of solitude or semi-solitude, where you're living in a not too big house because maybe your kids are grown or anyone you were caretaking has passed on. You're living by yourself in a nice place of solitude. Maybe there's a river, maybe there's a lake, maybe there's a little brook of water, some old trees, some nature for you to find peace, because peace is a great healer, nature is a great healer, and maybe it's just you and your dog, or whatever, whoever is around. This is what most people who are burnt out, and we are burning out fast and furious, but most people who are burnt out, this is what they foresee, and where they're going to get the money for this. Different sources, different kinds of income. I've got people who are doing this who are just retired or used their 401k or inherited some money or have found another source of income, including growing weed. I know a lot of people making a lot of money doing that. You know, if it's legal, why not? And they're just alone, and they really don't care what's happening in the big bad world. But there's one other but. I'm sorry, I have to say this. Even if you're in some isolated place, remember the climate change, remember the earthquakes, remember that, you know, the rains are coming, the wildfires are out in the summer as always. Montana had a 5.8 earthquake, which is breaking the North American plate apart. The Pacific plate is already broken, as well as all the other places that are seeing all kinds of activities linked to earth changes. So try to find a peaceful place. If you have emotional problems, do what most people do. Some yoga, some meditation, some Pilates, some walking, some jogging, some proper eating, and just say, well, for as long as this hologram is around, I'm going to do the best I can to deal with life. It's all any of us can do. Thank you.